Hi, and welcome back to CanPath's Trainee Spotlight Series. I'm Megan Fleming, CanPath's Communications and Knowledge Translation Officer, and this video series is all about featuring students, trainees, and early career researchers who are truly championing work in the field of population health, because you don't need to be a seasoned epidemiologist or biostatistician to use big health data in your research. Today, we're showcasing Alex. Alex is a postdoctoral researcher at the University of British Columbia. She's the project manager for the HEAL study, and she holds her PhD from the University of Waterloo. This is Alex.
So, Alex, can you tell me a little bit about your role with CanPath and the HEAL and CHARM studies, and what does working in your role look like on the day-to-day?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm the HEAL Research Project Manager, and I work through the University of British Columbia, but I'm really lucky to be part of a team that spans the Canadian provinces. And as the project manager for HEAL, my day sort of changes depending on where we are in the study. So at the beginning, I did a lot of work reviewing research ethics board materials and getting the back end work in place so we could launch the study and have it very consistent across Canada, no matter where a participant is taking part in the study. And then in the middle, once people were moving through the study, questions would occasionally pop up, and they would filter back to me, and I would try and seek out the answer and pass those back to the study teams that are working with the participants on a day-to-day basis. And then now that data has really started to roll in, and we even have some participants who have moved through the entire HEAL study, I'm now helping with some of the more finishing processes. So, looking at getting agreements in place so researchers can start accessing the data, or working with our data harmonization team, which basically means because we're collecting data across the different provinces, we want to try and make sure we have one comparable data set. So we're working with a team that will help us make that possible. So my work has sort of changed over time, and so every day is a little bit different.
Amazing. That's cool. So, for anyone who likes the whole context switching, dynamic, trying something new, doing what Alex does is for you.
Yeah, I feel like every couple of months I'm learning something new and I'm trying something different. I'm also very lucky I get to work with Megan very close for some of
Yay!
the comms materials, which I had no experience in before. So that's been a fun thing to get to do.
Cool. Always fun working with you too. So, kind of good segue into our next question. What's something that you've learned about with working with and supporting others with using large cohort data that you didn't expect?
I think I came into the role thinking I needed to have all of the answers as a project manager, and needing to be the point person that people could ask all their questions and I could turn around and know right away what to say. And what I've learned is that, like, I'm part of a team for a reason. And if I don't have the answer, there's someone else that does. And sometimes we need to come up with the answer because it's not something we had thought would come up. And that's really the nice thing about my role, is that I get to try and provide answers, but I also get to know when to tap on other people's shoulders and say, hey, can you help me out? And then at the end of the day, we're able to get the answer we're looking for.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's all, especially for the heal and charm studies. It's something so new and novel, and it's good to remember that you're not alone in it. You have this whole massive team behind you supporting you along the way.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, what makes CanPath and the heal and charm studies valuable for the kind of research that you're supporting?
So I think because we're able to collect data across Canada, we're able to get a better picture of what it looks like to live in the different provinces over the course of a year. And then because I am also involved in HEAL, not only as a project manager, but as someone who will be using the data, my research project actually isn't possible without the type of data that's being collected in HEAL, because I want to use all three of the dietary measurement tools. And that's something that's really, really unique to the HEAL study. Usually we don't get that many dietary tools. Um, in one go. And same with the physical activity data. So this is really a one-of-a-kind data set that CanPath and HEAL bring together.
Did anything feel difficult or intimidating at the beginning of your work with working with the HEAL and Charm studies? And have those feelings kind of evolved over time?
Yeah, I think when I first came on to HEAL, the study was well underway. There was a large planning process, and I came in shortly after data collection had actually started in Manitoba. So that meant I was trying to get up to speed really, really quickly and transition into my role and being able to take the lead and be able to continue to support the study teams that were rolling out HEAL or collecting data. So I found it a little bit intimidating, the amount of intricate details that go into HEAL, but as I've gone on and I've been working with the study day in and day out, they now feel like second nature. I also was really nervous about chairing large meetings. So I've worked with groups of people before, specifically in virtual spaces, but HEAL, because of how many different provinces it spans, it requires a much bigger team of people. And I remember my first full group meeting with around 30 people. I was so nervous, but everyone is super friendly, and I quickly got into the swing of things after a couple of the meetings, and now I don't even think twice about it. So yeah, I think it was just the details and getting used to working with a large group.
Absolutely. That's so interesting, Alex. I feel like, especially in my work too, like totally different role, but same kind of people and the vastness of working with a pan-Canadian network. It's so intimidating walking to it. Like working with big data, population health data, that's almost like an analogy to all of the staff and people, call centers, participants, all of the network behind it. And you've taken it in stride as a manager. It's intimidating up front, but
Thank you.
You're so good at your job, so it's good.
Thanks.
And okay, good next question. How has working on the Heal and Charm studies shaped how you think about population health?
So I think it's really helped me better understand the different challenges, or maybe not challenges, but different things in general that can pop up while collecting population health data. Up to now, all of my work has used data that was already collected. So I just got to see the end product of here's the final data set. Go ahead and use it for whatever purposes after you get all of the appropriate approvals. So now I have a better understanding of sort of the ins and outs of data collection, the prep work that goes involved, and as you were mentioning, all of the staff that is behind the scenes to help make the collection of population health data possible. And I really didn't have a good understanding of that before. And now working on this project, I do, and I think I just generally have a better appreciation for the data that we do have.
Awesome. So, what would you tell another trainee or early career researcher who's curious about CanPath or the Heal and Charm studies or population health data more broadly, and they're just not sure where to start?
Yeah. I think if you're interested in CanPath or HEAL, I would say the CanPath webpage is a really great place to start. They have all of the publications or approved projects posted on the webpage. So you can go there, get a sense of what's been done or what's going to happen, and you can maybe get some brainstorm ideas of what is possible. They also have a data access page. So it's really cool. You can go in and see the variables that are available. So if you sort of have an idea or want to think through what's possible, you can go there and learn more. And then I think, I mean, speaking from myself, I'm always happy to share what I've learned in my time doing research or sort of my trajectory as student to my current role, because it has involved population data and now I'm working within CanPath and HEAL. I'm always really happy to share my experience. So I think for someone that's considering entering the space, feel free to tap on the shoulder of someone who's doing something that you find interesting, because I've found through even my own experience reaching out for informational interviews, people are very generous with their time and are always happy to share what they've learned along the way.
Big time. I feel like that's something that I hear time and time again. But thinking back to how I was as a trainee, that's something that I was so nervous to do, is like ask a professor for a few minutes of their time to tell me about what they're passionate about, what gets them excited, what gets them going every day. Does their work feel really rewarding, or if not a professor, maybe like a postdoc, a PhD, a master's student. Like, what are you actually doing and how does it make you feel? And it's funny being in the population health space, public health, research, healthcare. I think more than anything, this sector is so keen to talk about what they do because they do work in service of others and in service of others' health, leaving a legacy for other Canadians and their health. So we can all feel good. So they want to do it personally too. Like they're so open to talking to you. Did you have like a mentor or anyone along the way who cheered you on or you got your perspective from them? You don't have to name them specifically, but was there a stop along the way that kind of helped you out?
I think I was able to be supported by a range of different people, and thinking through sort of like I did have the opportunity to do informational interviews and learn about different areas of research or different jobs that people have that are related to public health, whether that was an academic position or a government position. And then I also had the chance during my PhD to do a practicum, and that really exposed me to a different research environment. And I was able to explore different options. And I think all throughout my research so far as a grad student and now in my current role, there's all like, I feel like there's been a lot of really great built in mentorship and people always encouraging me to look at job postings and think about what's possible, and then having follow up conversations so we can talk about what I found and like how we can sort of think about what I'm doing now and how that could map to something in the future for me.
Amazing. Perfect segue into your next question then.
Yeah.
How might CanPath or the Heal and Charm studies or population health data overall fit into your future research or career path?
Sure. So I think in like the very immediate term, my research will be drawing upon HEAL data to look at food insecurity and its link with dietary intake. So that's like a very short term piece. And then I think in the long term, because my work is in public health, population health broadly, I know I'm going to be using population health data throughout my career. How that's going to look in the future, I'm not sure. I think that's one of the interesting pieces about being, I guess, a little bit earlier in my research career, that I have an area that I've specialized in, but there's still a lot that I'm unsure about and trying to figure out about my career. But I know that it will certainly involve population health data because that's the area that I'm interested in, and I genuinely care about helping people living in Canada live a healthy and equitable life.
So Alex, we do a lot of work together already.
Mhm.
We work on Heal and Charm. I support your communications work with that, with our work study students. So I know you very well, but the people watching this video might not know you very well. Could
Right.
you start with telling us a bit about your role and your previous education history, just to give people a sense of who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I think my role is a little bit interesting. I am the HEAL project manager, but I'm hired as a postdoctoral researcher through the University of British Columbia. So I work really, really closely with Dr. Rachel Murphy, as well as Dr. Sharon Kirkpatrick and Dr. Jennifer Venna. But my direct supervisor is Dr. Murphy. And then to get to this point, I did an undergraduate and degree in health sciences at the University of Waterloo. I took advantage of their co op program. So I had originally thought I wanted to go into medicine. And then very early on, I decided that it wasn't going to be a good match for me. And then I sort of switched to the research perspective and was like, I really want to stop people from getting sick in the first place. That would be fantastic if I could help sort of reduce people that need to interact with the healthcare system, knowing that that's never going to be all the way down to zero. So that sort of led me to continue in the research stream. I started my master's also at the University of Waterloo in public health. I did a year worth of coursework and decided I was enjoying it. So I reclassified from my master's to my PhD. And then also at the University of Waterloo. So I did that over 4 years, and I focused on food insecurity during the COVID-19 pandemic in 6 different countries from both an adult and adolescent perspective.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this trainee spotlight. If you would like to see more, check out our playlist to hear other stories from trainees. Or if you would like to do some reading, head over to our website. We have blog posts that cover all of our trainee spotlights. And if you would like to be the next trainee to use CanPath or population health data in your research, please connect with us. We would love to hear your story too.